Maki Zenin is easily one of the coolest characters to come out of Jujutsu Kaisen. Seeing her journey of having no cursed energy and still choosing to rebel against her oppressive family to live life the way she wants to is truly inspiring. And with Season 3's release, we're finally going to see Maki become her true self and wreak havoc on the Zenin clan. This character has the opportunity to inspire many people with her actions and her words, especially in the world of manga and anime, where female characters doing this kind of stuff is pretty rare. But unfortunately, she has become a victim of Goonification. You see, a little bit after Maki's new character design was revealed, NSFW artists got to work drawing stupid pictures of her in a dress where her boobs are literally about to spill out, basically drawing a 16-year-old girl in an aged-up, risque manner. This is one of the main factors that contributed to this, leading people to somehow forget that she's a child, and since the anime isn't out yet, people for some reason believe she actually wears/looks like this in the story. You know it's bad when I can't even talk to people in the vendor hall at a con selling a cool shirt with her on it, or random people on the train while holding my split soul katana without them making a comment about her appearance. Mind you, these guys are grown men, and I always have to remind them that she's a whole child. Like, it's so crazy that people can remember that characters like Yuji and Nobara are kids, but as soon as Maki gets burn scars, people somehow instantly start believing that she turned 25. I made a video about this a while ago and posted it on TikTok, and while it got a good amount of support, it was also bombarded by idiots posting disgusting edited pictures of her in the comments, and kids making the excuse of, "I'm a child, so it's okay." Let me debunk this real quick. Maki is a kid. You're also a kid. If you think she's pretty, whatever, that's fine. But sexualizing her and painting her in a false light, which is what most of you guys are doing, is disgusting, because she was never meant to be seen that way. It would be a little different if she was like a female One Piece character or some other type of fan service character in anime, but she's not. Her whole existence goes against these things, rebelling against people who just want you to sit still and look pretty. And you guys doing this to her of all characters, regardless of your age, is wrong. And it makes you look just like the clan that oppressed her and her sister for all those years. Just like this guy. Maki has such a beautiful story to tell, and is one of the only characters that Gege handled halfway decently. So doing all this just takes away from everything she's done and all the people that she can inspire. Why I say halfway decently is because Gege did so many things after her original awakening that opened the door for people to be weird. The sumo wrestling scene in particular, I'm not looking forward to. Mainly because I can already see people making edits and posting comments saying, "It should have been me!" But also because it was terribly written, and those two goofballs showing up killed the intensity of the scene and ruined Kamo's moment. Also the Freedom panel, where she's doing like a Chun-Li leg lift, a lot of people of course sexualized this as well. But the main catalyst he created was confirming the ship with Maki and Yuta in his Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo spin-off. This shit opened the floodgates of people treating Maki like a prize to be won and treating Yuta like the winner of JJK just because he got with the character everyone randomly decided to sexualize. Also, the people making weird jokes like, "Oh, does Rika watch while they..." Like, you guys actually need help. Like, if that is the first thing you thought when you saw that the ship got confirmed, there is actually something wrong with you. I've never been into the shipping side of fandom, but I know that a lot of people do like this ship. The problem is that there's two sides of this. You have the wholesome shippers, and then you have the people that I just mentioned. The latter side of this group just ruins it completely, because instead of treating it as two characters who just decided that they like each other, you guys would rather push a narrative of ownership in that she's a trophy for Yuta, and that just completely shits on her character even more. Let me stop here and debunk another argument. "It's just pixels, bro. It's not that deep." That's like saying gooning to a drawing of your 13-year-old cousin isn't that deep. It's about the morality of it. The second you see that the character's a child, it should be an instant turnoff. That's how it is with people with a normal functioning brain. I feel like degenerate activity is becoming way too normalized on the internet and in real life. And people are becoming way too shameless. Like, people used to get clowned for this kind of stuff. We definitely need to go back to those times. Moving away from that, I can honestly say that everything that people are doing really takes away from my excitement for Season 3. Knowing that everyone is just gonna sexualize this character and take away from the impact that she could have on the future of storytelling is really daunting. The edits are gonna piss me off, bro. Because it's so crazy how people can make edits of Nobara just being a girl boss or Yuji just being a badass, But whenever it's time to make an edit for Maki, it always has something to do with her appearance and her being a quote-unquote baddie. Like I said, if you cannot talk about this character, badass as she is, without commenting on her appearance, you guys are just like this guy. You're just like this guy in the clan that oppressed Maki and her sister. This whole sexualization agenda that people are pushing on Maki is so forced, and it's just clearly based off of Gooner fan art. Because realistically, there is nothing to sexualize about her. And the fact that people are sexualizing burn scars just shows where the world is headed. Maki's transformation, pre and post Shibuya, is one of the most badass character design changes I've ever seen. She went from being a girl with no cursed energy or special abilities, who literally had to wear glasses to see curses, to a beast who tapped into the true power of heavenly restriction and became, as Momo called her, a monster. And her new character design just really drives this point home. It gives her arc so much meaning because it shows on the character. The burn scars, the shorter hair, the more muscular features tell the story of what she's been through and what she had to sacrifice to gain power. So the fact that people are taking this and turning it into something to goon to just kills me. Like I said in one of my other videos, the way that she gets treated is like how a character that's naked all the time gets treated. Actually, scratch that, because not even Uro gets treated like this. She is one of the most dripped out characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. She's wearing an all black outfit, sleeveless turtleneck, brown belt, black joggers. Your girl is wearing a cape held up by the Jujutsu swirl buttons. And tell me that those don't look like Balenciagas. Come on now. I'm editing this right now, but I had to throw this in real quick. The fact that artists never draw her in the outfit that she actually wears is such a waste of a great character design. Also, when cosplayers cosplay that stupid art of her in the dress, that does not help at all either. Like, what are we doing, dude? Alright, back to what I was saying. Whenever I see her, I think about how crazy it is that Gege really took the leap and changed her character design completely, and still managed to make her look even cooler than she did before, in my opinion. The burn scars are a symbol of her strength, and the fact that she wears them with pride is so beautiful. Some of you guys may know about this little girl who loves Shoto Todoroki because they have the same mark on their eye. She could be that inspiration to kids that have skin conditions and stuff, but unfortunately the false light that she's being painted in by people is taking away from the wholesome impact that she could have. She showed up for 2 seconds in the JJK movie, and people were already being weird. Like, what are you guys gooning to? Especially when there's attractive adult characters right there. Like, dude, if you're trying to goon, just go watch a gooner anime. This character is not for you guys. Also, I should probably add that the sexualization of this character didn't exactly start when her character design changed. It actually started in JJK 0, when they just did multiple things to kind of sexualize Maki in that movie. That split that she does when she gets completely upskirted by the camera, it's not like that in the manga. In the manga, she does the split, but her legs are actually crossed. She's kind of doing like a breakdancer split or something. So it's not showing as much, and she's not getting completely upskirted by the camera. The animation studio literally changed that shit, and they were like, oh, yo, let's just have her doing a full split and just have the camera right behind this 15-year-old girl. Like, bro, the animation studio essentially changed it to make a fan service moment. Like, these grown-ass men really decided to do that. That is unacceptable, honestly. I hope Gege did not sanction that, because if I was Gege, I would literally be crashing out on whoever did that. Like, I would have to find out who sanctioned that, because that is just crazy. Very sad. And then the panda asking Utah if he likes girls with big boobs. Like, they did honestly sexualize Maki in that movie, and that shit was fucked up. I think that's the origin of this character getting sexualized, but it really ramped up with the things that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So with all that said, right, let me just go ahead and debunk even more of the arguments that people have made in my TikTok comments, or just in general, you know, people trying to justify it like weirdos. There are some people, can I even call them people? I don't even know, saying, bro, she looks like an adult. That, dude, you're just outing yourself. That means that you only look at Gooner fan art. Like, look at the manga panels, right? She just looks like regular Maki, but, you know, burned and in different clothing. Maybe it's the setting, maybe it's you know, the new vibe of the character. But you guys are like, oh, the character is presented as very mature and this and that. So people are gonna goon to her because she's presented older. Dude, shut the fuck up. Like, you guys will really say anything to try to justify people being weird. This character is a 16-year-old girl who is in a story going through something very, very serious. And even if she did look older, you guys are acting like that's still okay. That doesn't make it okay. By that same fucking logic, that means that you think that it's okay to prey on girls in real life that you think look older than they actually are. These people need to be put on a watch list. I swear, you guys always like to say, oh, they're not actually hurting real people. No, dude. Someone made a really good argument against this in my comments. They were like, you guys like to cop out and say, oh, it's okay because they're not hurting a real person, when that's just one of the steps. You're on the first step before you start actually hurting real people. Like, there was someone that said, oh, bro, when I saw her, I thought she was 30. I was like, what? 30? Double, damn near her. Double? No, bro. That shit, no. She does not look like no 30. Bro, she looks like a teenage girl that is just burnt up. It's all serious and shit. So it's gonna look a little bit darker. And then I just gotta throw in people saying, oh, well, I'm just gooning to Grandma Maki. No, you're not, bro. You're gooning to the young Maki. That's another reason why I hate that Marilo was made, because it gives people that fake cop-out to be able to resort to when they're just lying. You guys are gooning to the young Maki. Just stop. And then, oh, this is one of the main one people are saying, bro, welcome to the anime community, bro. People do this all the time. Does that make it okay, though? Fuck no. That's like saying, oh, dude, racism happens all over the world. Okay, does that make it a bad thing to call it out or to bring it to people's attention or to say that it's wrong? No. You guys are just a part of that loser mindset, like that loser conformist mindset where it's like, oh, this problem doesn't affect me, so I don't care about it, and I'm just going to say that there's nothing you can do about it. No, genuinely, if more people were like this and more people were critical of people who think this way and do this kind of stuff, this behavior will go away a little bit. Like, it won't completely go away, but it will, like, push these weirdos back to their little corner of the internet. And that's exactly what needs to happen nowadays. It is crazy how there are people who would rather try to justify it than just call a spade and say that what these people are doing is weird. Saying, oh, that happens in this community, that happens in this. Like, I see people bringing up the My Hero community and stuff. Well, the difference between My Hero and JJK is that Horikoshi, that dude sexualizes his own teenage characters. That's why I don't really mess with the dude on that type of level, because he sexualizes his own characters. Jujutsu Kaisen, it's not really like that, you know? Like, there's some moments here and there, but Gege doesn't really sexualize his characters like that, especially the teenage ones. And also, this does not happen to this magnitude that often. Maki is like, basically, if you tell someone, oh, my favorite JJK character is Maki, we're almost at the point where they're basically gonna think you're a gooner. And that's fucked. Like, bro, that's when you know, yeah, this character is basically ruined. It's like what I said with Jury. The people, they ruin these characters because now the character's not even taken seriously anymore, because you can't even say, oh, I like this character, without people being like, oh, I already know what type of person you are. That's very, very bad. The perception of this character has been completely warped and twisted by these weirdos and just these regular people who just don't want to think for like 5 seconds. And that's wrong. That's not okay. Characters suffer from this kind of stuff. For example, imagine if Katniss Everdeen got somehow turned into a complete gooner character. The impact that she had on storytelling would not have been nearly as potent, because everyone, like, no one would be taking her seriously. Because if you said, oh, I like Hunger Games, oh, Katniss is awesome, people would already be clowning. But because that didn't happen, she's like a symbol now. People still think about her to this day. Katniss is the GOAT, bro. Because her impact wasn't watered down. And Maki could be that, bro, especially in Japan. Like, Japan is still really sexist, I'm gonna be honest. And she could have been, Maki could have been the Katniss Everdeen for Japan. She honestly could, like, if JJK was better written and it was a little bit longer maybe, and they really went more into Maki's character, she really could have been the Katniss Everdeen of Japan. But it does not help her character when people are online forcing a weird sexualization agenda on the character, because that takes away from everything she's done, and it makes it so that you can't really take her seriously anymore. There's also people saying, oh, it happened to Gojo too. Okay, first of all, Gojo is a grown man. Second of all, along with everything else, there's a bunch of people who still genuinely appreciate his character. Like me, I love Gojo, but because he's super cool. With Maki, it's mostly people just sexualizing her. So that's also BS. And then we got, you know, the most cop-out argument by people who know I'm right, but they just don't want to admit it. Oh, dude, it's just anime, bro. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal to you. Because either one, you're not really a huge fan of the character, which is fine. Or two, it's not affecting you, so obviously you don't care. I'm a writer myself. I said this in my other video. I'm a writer myself, right? And I can't imagine sitting down for hours, breaking my back, to write a character as meaningful as this, and, you know, with this intended impact, right? That could have this impact, because especially like JJK, super popular, so she could have a crazy impact. But imagine writing a character like this, right? But people instantly start sexualizing her and turning her into a prize for another character or other characters. You know, apparently Yuji fans are weird about it too, just because of meme internet culture and people having no shame, so much to the point where it just diminishes their impact. That would suck, dude. That absolutely sucks. So that's why I'm kind of apprehensive about putting my stories that I'm writing out there. Characters can truly change the world, man. Like, there are characters that have changed the way people have thought about things. Like, dude, works of fiction are magical at times, man. And when you defile characters like this, it just takes away from their magic. It really does. So like I said, as someone who is a fan of fandom and storytelling, and dude, like, I'm a cosplayer, like, I love characters, I love cool characters, I love cool stories, and seeing this happen to literally one of your favorite characters just sucks, man. Like, I can't talk about Maki, I can't even, like, people would rather talk about her appearance than how freaking cool she is. And that's when you have a huge problem on your hands. And so that's why I wanted to make this video and just shine some light on this topic, because this needs to be talked about more. But if I can end off this video with one thing, I will say that I did see a cool edit of Maki, and it used a song from Chromacopia, Tyler the Creator's album. And it's kind of like a good song for her. It's called Saint Chroma or ST Chroma. And in that song, it has like a soundbite of a woman saying, "Do not let any of these people dim your light." And that kind of stuck with me, because I refuse to let these people dim this character's light for me, because I know what this character means and I know what her impact is, and this character has inspired me in my storytelling. So even though that there's all these weirdos doing this, you know, messed up stuff and not thinking anything of it because they don't think it matters, because it doesn't affect them, this character's impact is seen by me and many others. So this character's light is not fully dimmed, and I refuse to let her light be dimmed, because she is an awesome character. And yeah, like I said, she's inspired me. I wish she was handled a little bit better, as I said in the video before, but you know, the whole concept of it, super awesome. So I'm gonna watch season 3 and enjoy, you know, the impact that she has as much as I can. And hopefully, you know, with this video, her impact can be seen just by one person at least. You know, like, if I can change one person's mind about this topic, that would be freaking awesome. That's part of the reason that I do this, because these characters inspire me, and I want to give a voice to other people who feel the same way. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And yeah, man, just be the change that you want to see in this world. I know it sounds like cliche or cringe or whatever, but it just is what it is, man. It is what it is. Like, no one's perfect, obviously, but you know, if you can try to be at least a little bit of the positive change that you want to see, it goes a long way, man. Thank you guys, seriously, for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this character and what she has to offer, and just the new season in general. Yeah. And, you know, just don't, like I said, before you post a Gooner comment about the character or make a Gooner edit or just do whatever, you know, say something weird, just think like for 2 seconds, you know. This stuff piles up and it can honestly damage the way a character's seen. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. You have a good day, night, wherever you are in the world. Peace.